The castle is dedicated and named after Samuel and Josephine Plumeri. Those are the parents of Joe Plumeri, who was one of our biggest donors to our capital campaign. So he named it after his parents, and he felt that they were an inspiration to him to give back and do more and do better. So he felt that this would honor them.
We've had our grand opening, obviously December 2nd, so we've only been here a short amount of time. We've had volunteer trainings here, which is wonderful, informational sessions, because now that we're so visible, so many more people are coming and saying, how can we help? How can we get involved?
The castle will serve many purposes. One main purpose, obviously, is with the Wish children. And we wanted to create an environment for the Wish experience, not just for the experience here, but for the child to have an opportunity to be outside of their home with the Wish granting team, or more importantly, outside of the hospital room.
You know, we wouldn't be doing our jobs if it wasn't for the medical professionals who refer these children, the social workers, the doctors, the nurses. So we held a informational / welcome thank you session for them to say, hey, you know, you're doing a great job and this is what we're doing with all the children you're referring to us. And it was a great event, great turnout. We do welcome home parties. We just had a girl come back from meeting the Pope. She came and showed all of her Pope pictures. It was amazing.
This building in itself puts a smile on their face. And then letting them walk into the inspiration room to be inspired. What is their wish? And that wish then is going to give them, as we talked about, hope, strength, and joy. That's going to give them their hope that when I'm better, that may be the first time in their mind they're saying to themselves, I am going to be better? Wow. Yeah, you're right. And when I'm better, I'm going to want to meet the president. I'm going to want to run with the zebras. Who knows? But I'm going to fight. I'm going to have strength in myself so that I can go on this wish.
They are secret doors. They are meant just for the Wish children and their families. So we want to keep everything a surprise.
One of the rooms that we've created is the Chris Gracious Inspiration Room. The medical community tells us that the Make-A-Wish mission often picks up where science and medicine leaves off. All of the excitement continues to build as families are led through the castle to the Inspiration Room, through Inspiration Grove, and then finally to the Wishing Room. The experience inside the Wishing Room is unlike any other experience. As soon as you walk in, you know that it's a special place, and it's a place where the child finally does answer the question, if you can have one wish, what would it be? And the Make-A-Wish Foundation grants wishes to children that are between the ages of 2.5 and 18. And we learned during our study groups with our Wish children that while the experiences are certainly magical and moving inside the Inspiration Room and the Wishing Room, for our older Wish kids, it might not really be age appropriate. So we have a teen lounge made possible by the Berardo family that is a little more age appropriate and allows teenage Wish kids to come with their families and friends and do all of the things that they would really love to do and consider what they would want to be their fondest wish, and they can just kind of hang out and, you know, be a teenager.
Well, there are 4 different types of wishes. I wish to go, I wish to have, I wish to meet, I wish to be.
I've worked on a celebrity wish. A young man wished to meet the band Boys Like Girls a few years ago. They unfortunately had to cancel right before his wish, but to make it up for him, they changed their schedule and actually ended up having a little concert in his backyard. Wow. For him and some of his 50 closest friends. So that was definitely out of the box and not the norm, so that was more memorable than some of the others.
I think my favorites are when I actually get to meet the Wish families. Like I was saying before, I wish to have bunnies. That was so much fun. It was a little girl named Natalia, 5 years old. She wished to have 2 floppy-eared bunnies, one white, one black one. And I just got the whole state involved, number of 4-H clubs reaching out saying, I need some baby bunnies. Where can I find these? And we ended up finding the bunnies through a contact I had had from my previous position. And this woman lived down on a farm in Warren County, and Natalia was from a nice little, suburban town in northern New Jersey. So we picked her up in a limo, brought her over to Warren County, where she got to pet the ponies, play with the goats, see the pigs. And then Petland had donated all these bunny supplies to her, along with the 4-H clubs donating books and toys. And just meeting Natalia, the family, the excitement on her face when she got her bunnies, just holding them and saying, I love you, and you just knew it was her fondest wish at that very moment. It was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Make-A-Wish started with a young boy named Chris Gracious. Chris was from Illinois and was getting treatment for his illness out in Arizona. And this is in the early 80s. He was a fan of the television show Chips, and he wanted to be a highway patrolman. Eric Estrada and that whole show. Arizona heard this, and the state police said, "We can help him. We can put a smile on his face." And they had a uniform made. First one ever made for a civilian, an actual uniform, the hat, the badge, everything perfect to an Arizona State policeman. And they let him go on a motorcycle. They wanted to give him a helicopter ride around the city. And he said, I'm not sure I want to do that. He spent a full day with them, not soon after Chris passed. And it was at his funeral when the Arizona State Police reached out to Illinois, and they said, he touched us in a way that we need a favor. Would you give Chris an honor guard at his funeral? And Illinois did. And Chris's mother, all she could say to everyone was how happy he was the last few weeks of his life. And so the folks in Arizona said, we may be onto something here. And Chris's mother and those few folks went back to Arizona, and they said, what can we do to make this happen more and more? And in 1980, the foundation was started. And then the joy. That's what these families, what these children go through for years sometimes, to be able to step back and maybe just be a family together. Some of these kids miss their birthdays. They miss Christmases. They miss family time. And that's where the joy comes in. And science is telling us that these three pieces help us a lot in a child's recovery.
We grant over 400 wishes per year. Wow. Last year we did about 400. This year we're striving to hit 450 throughout the state of New Jersey. So more than one a day.
The development team is instrumental, perhaps even critical to all of this being possible. We are reliant solely on the contributions and the gifts and generosity of individuals and foundations and corporations. We have no state funding, we have no government funding. We're not a university or a college that has tuition to rely on. So we rely on the generosity of others, and thank goodness for that. And thank goodness for those who have answered the call so many times, and to those of you who are going to be answering the call hopefully tonight to help us in this telethon. Because it is those dollars that make an incredible impact that will allow us to grant those wishes. And the more funds we have, the more wishes we're able to grant. And it's keeping our simple mission, our powerful mission, possible by the generosity of so many others.